Hey, my name is Michelle Hathcock. I've been coming to Adventist Fellowship for approximately 3 years now. My early childhood was a bit traumatic and chaotic. I grew up here in Oklahoma. I was raised in a independent fundamental Baptist church. I was pretty isolated even within the church, even my family within that church itself. I was very isolated. So at 15, I had a relatively minor surgery on my knee. I was expected to have a simple, easy recovery, but unfortunately, I did not. My body and my nervous system overreacted for some reason. I ended up having extreme pain and swelling. My muscles contracted to where I could not move them properly. After several months of going to different doctors, different therapists, I ended up being diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome. It is one of the most painful diseases on what is known as the pain scale, and is also known as the suicide disease, for understandable reasons. After going through many procedures, including one that almost ended my life, and lots of physical therapy, I was still in a wheelchair most of the time because of the extreme pain. But despite all that, I was still able to graduate high school, excellent grades, high honors, and I still excelled in my music studies as well. I definitely did not understand why I was going through what I was going through and why God would have me experience so much pain. I was always told that, God has a plan for everything and everything would work out according to his plan, and that just to trust him. And so, I definitely tried to do that, even though I will say sometimes, I had definitely doubted, and sometimes I felt abandoned. I can't, I am human, but I did try to trust God that there was a purpose and a plan for the pain that I was going through. So in around 2002, I met Perry. He proposed about a year later, and I was determined at that point that I did not want to go down the aisle in a wheelchair. And in May 2004, I did exactly that. I did walk down the aisle. And then fast forward to around 2007, we moved to San Diego. We were in full swing, active duty military life. It's basically survival mode, trying to get through one deployment after another. And I was doing that with 4 very young children, toddlers and babies. We had our children very close together. And I still had a chronic severe pain to deal with. We did not really have any family around us or really any friends. So it was a very lonely life. I felt like a single parent most of the time, trying to do things on my own. Because of all that, in my late 20s, I started experiencing severe mental health issues, and I did not understand them, to the point where I was doing self-harm and even tried to take my life several times. And mental health is very stigmatized, and in Christian circles, I would say even more so. People would often think that you are having some deep spiritual or moral failure. I was accused of being possessed, of not being saved, of not praying enough, or having a close relationship with God, which definitely did not help. In fact, it probably only made my symptoms worse. I am considered very high functioning. So once again, I have an invisible illness. So one of my symptoms is mania, and mania is like experiencing a high. And depending on your particular symptom, that can be used to your advantage. And I definitely have been able to do that. My obsession is learning. I love to learn. And so my manic obsession for learning history, truth, biblical history, theology, facts, basically everything I can lay my hands on. I've been able to use that for a positive. I probably would not be here today, nor would my family be here today if that had not happened and I did not have the desire I have to learn truth. Because I'm no longer in a wheelchair and my mental health issues don't manifest outwardly like for most people, what I experience is what a lot of people call an invisible illness. Most people do not know that I live with severe chronic pain issues and severe mental health issues at times. I like to reflect back to what Paul said. Paul asked for his infirmity to be taken from him, and I have also. God responded, "My grace is sufficient for thee, my strength is made perfect in weakness." I believe that although I struggle every day, that God has used this in many ways to make me a stronger person. Even though people assume that I'm okay, that I'm fine because I look fine on the outside. And although I have an invisible illness, God has used that to strengthen me. And there's a saying in the military, pain is weakness leaving the body. And I think about that often, that the pain, although it is very difficult sometimes, it is making me a stronger person. At the same time, pain can also give you this tough persona, an outer shell that sometimes can also be a negative, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a callous person either. But through this journey, I wanted to become more like Jesus, more empathetic. I want to be more like Jesus. Jesus sat with and ate with and loved people who were like me, who were undesirable, who were weird, those who were actually possessed of the devil. Those were the people that Jesus loved. I want us to remember that, those people that you see talking to themselves on the street or yelling to the sky, before, we assume or judge, remember that those are the people that Jesus loved. Even though my symptoms don't manifest that way, I am blessed that they don't, that they could. And without the Lord's help, they could manifest that way. And without my family helping me every day, my husband and my kids being there for me, helping me through this journey, I could be one of those people on the street. And so I think we need to remember that those are the people that Jesus loves. I know Jesus is alive because he works miracles in my life every single day.